So moments ago, President Trump was wrapping up a dinner with some military leaders and their spouses at the White House and briefly addressed reporters and hinted at some sort of oncoming storm.
During a photo op in the White House dining room, President Trump made this puzzling comment.
You guys know what this represents? Well, maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storming?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
And now the president was asked again what he meant by calm before the storm, and he responded, "You'll find out."
But he says, we'll see. He'll let us know.
President Trump's firing overnight of acting Attorney General Sally Yates, an Obama holdover.
I had to fire General Flynn because he lied to the vice president and the FBI.
No, I fired him because of what he said to Mike Pence. Very simple.
We do come on the air at this hour because there is breaking news coming out of the White House. President Trump has informed FBI Director James Comey that he has been terminated and removed from office.
Deputy National Security Advisor Katie McFarland is reportedly leaving her position at the National Security Council.
White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer has resigned. The new press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, read a statement from President Trump.
I'm grateful for Sean's work on behalf of my administration and the American people.
They get burned out. I mean, typically these are roles that people enjoy for a year or more. But the fact that this tenure was only about 6 months long shows you just how chaotic and fractious the Trump administration has been.
It ranks among the shortest tenures in White House history. After a mere 10 days on the job, Anthony Scaramucci is out as White House communications director.
Yet another bombshell shakes the foundation of the Trump administration. Mr. Trump's controversial chief strategist forced out after a short and stormy tenure at the White House.
Breaking news right now. Tom Price has resigned as the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Omarosa has to go. You're fired.
It happened 3 times on The Apprentice. And tonight, Omarosa Manigault Newman is out of a job at the White House. The official line, she resigned, quote, to pursue other opportunities.
This decision by McCabe to leave was somehow influenced by this upcoming IG report, this Inspector General review of the Clinton private email server investigations.
The director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has resigned over financial conflicts.
Staff Secretary Rob Porter, gatekeeper to the Oval Office, is on his way out.
Confirming that White House Communications Director and very close Trump advisor, Hope Hicks, is resigning. In a statement, she said that she has achieved everything that she set out to achieve in this position.
Late today, the president's chief economic advisor, Gary Cohn, resigned.
Just moments ago, the president announced that Rex Tillerson is out as Secretary of State. Ousted would be more accurate here.
President Trump has fired his Secretary of Veterans Affairs, David Shulkin. He had faced criticism over travel expenses and poor care at VA health centers.
Jeff Sessions is now out as Attorney General. Sessions said he has submitted his resignation at the president's request.
President Trump just tweeting that Secretary of Defense James Mattis will be retiring at the end of February.
That Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is meeting with President Trump and is expected to resign.
President Trump has fired his director of the Secret Service. Randolph Ailes is a retired Marine general. He was appointed 2 years ago, appointed by President Trump. He's now been fired by President Trump.
President Trump is threatening to shut down the southern border.
Next to the crisis at the border, President Trump now cutting hundreds of millions of dollars in humanitarian aid to 3 Central American countries. As he returns to Washington from Mar-a-Lago tonight, he said he would close the border with Mexico.
We need to provide more human beings at the border on our border forces to take care of these people.
People, your taxes are high because of illegal immigrants. That's right, illegal immigrants. We need to get rid of them.
Immigrants. I knew it was them. Even when it was the bears, I knew it was them.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
In 1 week, the town will vote on a special referendum whether or not to deport all illegal immigrants from Springfield. It shall be known as Proposition 24.
We're going to begin with this. President Trump is returning to the southern border today to wrap up a startling week in U.S.-Mexican relations. It began with a threat to shut down the border to keep out drugs and waves of asylum seekers from Central America. Yesterday, the president said he will give Mexico 1 year to step up its drug and immigration enforcement.
If we were able to build the wall, now I've gotten the money for the wall, and you take a look at this, I hope you're covering it, because we have miles and miles of it being built right now. Hundreds of miles are under construction, and more importantly, they're under contract. I think 157 miles right now is under contract. They're getting ready to start. The Rio Grande, we're doing a lot of work there. That's where a lot of people come in. And I've shown the people that I was right. I mean, this is what's been happening for a long time. It's been happening for a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the future masters of the human race.
All right, check it out. I call him RoboChild.
Hey, buddy. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I would like to be a TurboTax Live CPA.
It's odd.
Don't you want to be something else?
Yeah, RoboChild, you could be anything.
But Papa, I want to help people get their best possible refund.
All right, let's just break it to you, okay? RoboChild, all TurboTax Live CPAs are human beings with real emotions. I'm sorry, but you're never going to be emotionally complex enough for that job.
Is that true, Papa?
Yeah.
I am sad.
See what I mean?
He's still perfecting emotion.
Oh, here it is. Hydraulic systems flush. EEPROM BIOS auto boot. Conversation mode? They can talk? I just have to press this button, right? Well, at least it doesn't feel pain. Wait a minute. Go! Override self-destruct protocol with authorization code 7225.
Human interaction mode activated. Initiate conversation.
Will you be my friend?
Friendship cannot exist between man and machine, but I can simulate interest in your statements.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
Because of the way the government auctions off our wireless spectrum, U.S. consumers pay a lot more for wireless data than anybody else in the world, and the president wants to change that. He also wants to use these changes in parceling out spectrum in a way that's going to help us lead the way in 5G technology. The president tweeted out earlier today, I want 5G and even 6G technology in the U.S. as soon as possible. It is far more powerful, faster, and smarter than the current standard.
And we just learned, Sophia, I hope you're listening to me, that you have been now awarded what is going to be the first Saudi citizenship for a robot.
Oh, I would thank very much the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I am very honored and proud for this unique distinction. This is historical to be the first robot in the world to be recognized with a citizenship.
Leila. I work as a content developer. We develop videos, infographics, and motion graphics to combat extremist content. A few seconds and pass it on to specialized departments for further action.
Mr. President, أصحاب الجلالة والفخامة والسمو، اسمحوا لي ندعوكم إلى صورة جماعية جروب فوتو في هذا الموقع، وشكرا لكم لاستماعكم.
That's it. That's our way in.
This is not what you're looking for! All these people trying to find their way in, you think you're gonna find something they can't?
Came this far, I'm not turning back now.
So these are radio frequency identification chips, or RFID.
Yeah.
This is the same exact technology that right now we have in most of our debit and credit cards. We also have a number of states, New York, Vermont, Michigan, that have already adopted an RFID chip program for their driver's licenses. And as more states sign on to this, this may become mandatory.
You know, if you go out and you want to buy groceries, you need a picture on a card. You need ID. You go out and you want to buy anything, you need ID and you need your picture.
It used our own bombs against us. 3 billion people died in the nuclear fire. Survivors called it Judgment Day. People lived like rats in the shadows, hiding, starving, or worse, captured and put into camps for extermination.
Artificial intelligence is what?
It's just digital intelligence, and as the algorithms and the hardware improve, that digital intelligence will exceed biological intelligence by a substantial margin. It's obvious.
Excuse me, how could AI destroy civilization?
You know, it would be something the same way that humans destroyed the habitat of primates. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be destroyed, but we might be relegated to a small corner of the world. We might be relegated to a small corner of the world.
You want to see something cool?
You are dead center of the greatest scientific event in the history of man.
Hello.
Hi. Do you have a name?
Ava.
Robotics are one thing, robots are great, machine learning and artificial intelligence are completely different things. Robots are cute, R2-D2, Danger Will Robinson, everybody's friend, how nice. AI, Manila, learns how to program you. You program robots, but AI programs you.
The September 11th terrorist attacks taught the United States to be vigilant, which has led to major changes in security techniques and technology over the past decade. Law enforcement agencies worldwide have come to rely heavily on surveillance of public spaces. Nowhere is this more pervasive than in Lower Manhattan, a prime target of the 9/11 terrorist attacks and home to many landmarks, including the newly constructed World Trade Center building. A network of nearly 2,000 security cameras now keep watch, with plans to add at least 1,000 more. The project has been dubbed the Ring of Steel, named after a similar camera network in downtown London.
File till we get to Seattle to tell the world of the plot to destroy Springfield. I don't know if you guys should be talking so loud. No, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
Hi, I'm calling about your meat lovers pizza. I like meat, but I don't know if I'm ready to love again. You hang up first.
No, you hang up first.
Okay.
She hung up on me.
But we're fugitives. We should just lay low till we get to Seattle.
Security officials say hackers believe every system can be broken into, even the web camera on your computer.
I could break into your phone.
I could break into your tablet.
Tyler Cohen-Wood is a cybersecurity expert with Inspired e-learning.
If you're not using it, turn it off. You also want to make sure that you are not using unsecured wireless access, because anyone else that's on that same wireless network has the ability to sniff the traffic and potentially get into your computer that way.
Just this week, FBI Director James Comey raised a few eyebrows when he suggested that you put a piece of tape over the web camera to prevent someone from turning it into a surveillance tool.
Well, it's not dirt that we need necessarily. It's a pressure point, something intimate, some kind of weakness. Can we look through his family?
Mm-hmm. How about his sister-in-law?
Yeah. What is that? Is that some video that she sent somebody?
No, this is live. Out of Paris.
What do you mean live?
Optic nerve? It's camera and mic activation.
I wish we could take credit, but the Brits wrote it.
Activation? Yeah, her laptop's off. Or it was, she just forgot to close it. Of course, how would she know? This shit is so sly, the webcam light doesn't even turn on. I always wonder what was under those.
Okay, let's stick to family in Geneva, all right?
And so I want them to be sure. I think it's unfair if they don't know. And I know a lot about hacking, and hacking is a very hard thing to prove. So it could be somebody else. And I also know things that other people don't know, and so they cannot be sure of the situation.
How much of an important role will cybersecurity play in protecting the issue of cybersecurity in your administration?
It's very important. You know, if you have something really important, write it out and have it delivered by courier, the old-fashioned way. Because I'll tell you what, no computer is safe. I don't care what they say, no computer is safe.